Hello friends, Captain Friendship here. I don't ever go out normally to defend anybody, but I'm hearing a lot of comments about the HEX conference. And I just want to bring everybody just back to earth because I'm seeing a lot of comments from people, and look, rightfully so, it's a bit of a shock. People are saying, hey, the Liquid Loans logo is bigger than HEX. And, there was like $25,000 sponsorship payments, and these other projects have paid to be on there. Like, what's going on? This is like bad and critical and everything. And I want to tell you something, friends. You see all your principles about civilization and morals and ethics. Well, they say a civilization is only as strong as about how long you can keep people from starving. Okay? So every society breaks down as soon as you cut the food supply. You got about 14 days. It's literally game over. So I'm not saying HEX civilizations break it down. I'm just telling you the price is down minus 98% after 3 years. So this whole thing about delayed gratification and don't buy other coins and we're the best thing, they're good talking points when you go up. But when you're down minus 98%, and then Dog with a Hat gets launched, does 10,000x, and HEX continues to sell off, and everyone gets to see, oh my gosh, maybe market cap really is big and the liquidity is so thin and all these big whales can keep dumping. It puts a lot of pressure on everyone. So Maddie, who runs the HEX conference, and to any friends, I don't defend anybody. I'm just bringing you back to reality. Maddie's done all these conferences for free. He hasn't made a single cent, not one. He charges exactly to the cost in order for the thing to just run, and that's it. Doesn't make anything. HEX conference, Pulse Chain conference. So in an ideal world, Maddie sold the top with all the other scum influencers, the HEX OGs, you call them, and he doesn't need to take sponsorship payment. Unfortunately, Maddie is a man of principle. He didn't destroy the top. The scum snakes did. Okay, but I'm using tongue-in-cheek there. Really, someone pumped it up a lot, hits 10,000x, and you can see from Ben Sierra, shout out to him, very good man. He made a lot of data, like data tables. You get to see like how many people actually cashed out. The biggest guy cashed out 14 million from the HEX pool. The next guy was like 8 million, 7, 6, 6, 6, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, like all that, all the way down. Okay, millions, millions, and millions. But guess what? Maddie wasn't one of them, clearly. So the HEX conference accepting sponsorships, he's just doing what he needs to do to survive, man. He's never made a single cent off it. So if you wanted the other world of none of this happening, you're basically asking him to be a snake. Dump on everyone whilst preaching delayed gratification and all these, right? And, if you want to look for a clue, Maddie, like doing one of the most godly things in all of crypto, the most saint things, right? Maddie, Allin, made a freaking crypto app without putting a token. So his app, Time Pays Me, you can lock up your coins for any amount of time, right? So 55 years max, whatever it is. And he doesn't make any money off it. Literally nothing. He literally made an app for free. At the end of your time served, I think if you want, it brings up a pop-up and it says basically like, if you'd like to donate, please donate 1% of your whole unlock, right? So if you like, maybe you lock something up for like 5 years and it makes a lot of money, you give like 1% charity donation. So it doesn't charge any fees, and that was going off Richard Heart principles. The problem is those Richard Heart principles, they're a bit lopsided now. Why? Because it's harsh to say, right? The people who were preaching delayed gratification, it's all a load of bullshit. Because you go look at the charts, right? It's not me saying it, it's the chart saying that, okay? Because all the gains in HEX was made in the first 12 to 18 months of release. That's where all the gains were made. First 1.5 years. The back 2.5 years has been 98% down. So the delaying of gratification here has just been punishing everyone. So where does that leave the community? Well, everyone's just got to think to themselves. They go, well, if I don't want Matty to literally go get another second job, right, And by the way, if he does that, if he does go get another second job and he has to leave the community, he'll never always be part of the community, but then he has to think about, all right, well, I just can't be bothered, right? Why should I run these things for free? People just shit on me, okay? And his momentum and energy will be 80% less. So that's a sacrifice you got to make. Well, you got to bargain, friends. Remember, I told you, man. Minus 98% down. That's what happens. You know what minus 98% means? It means you had $1 million at the top. Now you got 20 grand. You know, it's funny. We know Mr. Silvertooth. Mr. Silvertooth had $1 million at the top. Now that same thing's worth 20K. So what do we expect them to do? Do we expect them to, I don't know, go out and get another job and just like leave the cult, or their energy factor to drop down? That's something you have to think about and weigh up. But I know the community. I know, I'm just speaking to like a very few amount of people. 99.9% of us, we completely understand what's going on. Because yeah, a couple of guys fluked it, literally fluked it. They got paid too much, more than they should have. And they've just dumped on everyone and ravaged the whole community, right? And now everybody's left to pick up the pieces. And everyone is picking up the pieces. The ecosystem is still growing. It's just that we're waiting for the price to kind of find the clearing out zone to get the weak hands out, which we thought were out a year ago, but it's been like a post 12-month delayed bear market so far. So remember, there are 68 streamers in HEX. There are 140 plus content creators, everybody in the community. Matty does a HEX conference every year and a Pulse Chain conference. And yeah, maybe the issue is, all right, they got to take some sponsorship payments here and there. But you know the way I see it, friends? You know where they're getting their sponsorship payments from? The sacrifice funds that you put into these projects. And I think there is absolutely no better way for that money funnel to work in this system. It's basically you guys put in, say, money into liquid loans or whatever else. It goes into their marketing budget, and then they go and pay Matty to keep basically staying alive for the community and keep running these HEX and Pulse Chain conferences to keep spreading out the word. This is a literal bragging point. If you want an example of something like this that happens in crypto in a similar fashion, it's the XRP conference. They have this convention center. Here's the thing though. Cripple dumped $1.5 billion in 2021 on the XRP army whilst being investigated by the corrupt SEC. Can you believe that? 1.5 billion. Cripple's returns are trash for XRP, right? Payment solutions is dead. Cripple's so bad, they have been dumping on XRP investors for 10 years. You know what Cripple had to do? They recently had to announce, right, in a paper that they are forking Uniswap V2. That was Cripple's whole innovation and tech. It was some on-demand liquidity model. They've got to go freaking fork Uniswap. Okay, so that's the other route. So what we have here is a blessing. I think Matty's a saint. I think the HEX conference and Pulse Chain conference, they're worthy bragging points, friends. Do you know how great it is for adoption? We want to see stuff, man. I don't want to read these 15 Medium articles of like, hey, here's the new modular new blockchain mentioned everywhere, and you can't get in the ICO, which you're seeing all over these mainstream influencers. Okay, there's all these mainstream crypto trash influencers. They're all in the seed ICOs for all these other trash names like Gonad and Say and Molestia and all these other names. And who the hell cares? You know they're going to be irrelevant in the cycle after that. They're just here to grift everyone. So I like pointing people and go, hey man, yes, you might see a price down, but look at this. Look at all these people who aren't going to shut up about Pulse Chain, PulseX, and HEX for the next 5 years. Look at them. They're not going away, okay? And I get to show them that at the HEX conference, at the Pulse Chain conference that Matty hosts, okay? So make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, all friends. I'll catch you soon.